Hi guys, Tracy here with another, this time very quick scrapbooking process video. I'm using the Cherry Pie kit and add-on from the Scraptastic Kit Club, which is the kit for April of 2016. This kit features lots of really bright red pops of color and yellow and turquoise, which is one of my very favorite color combinations. So I'm starting with this piece of paper that says life across it. I'm going to trim down my photos. I have 4 photos here, and one of them really stands out as having a different color scheme than the others. So I'm actually going to not use that one. I'm going to go and print a 4th, thought about just using the 3, but I'm actually going to go and print up a 4th photo that's more similar to the other ones. I have so many pictures of this kitten, you wouldn't believe it. So I might as well pick one that matches with the other 2. So I printed those photos up at 2.8 by 2.8, which allows me to leave a slight border around the edges of them and also have each of them in just a tiny smidgen from the edge of the paper. I want the edge of the photo to line up with the edge of the E and the edge of the L. So I have these Pink Fresh Studio letter stickers, and the background paper, by the way, is also from Pink Fresh Studio. It's from the Life Noted collection. And so I'm going to spread the word Chloe all the way across the bottom of the word life, and I'm using the grid on the background paper as my way of measuring to roughly make sure, I mean, I'm going to be more careful about it when I lay them down for good, but for now I'm kind of trying to put 3 spaces between each of those letters. And I don't really love how the letter C ends up kind of falling half on the L and half off the L. I'm going to move it so that it's more off the L. It's still going to hit the L with a little smidgen after I replace them. So those are the Pink Fresh Studio letter stickers that come in the kit. And now these are the Ellie Studio letters that also come in the kit. And they're just a really nice basic black letter. And so my title is going to be Life with Chloe. And I'm going to start by putting my title down, which is not usually how I start. I usually start with layers and pattern papers and so on, but I'm actually not going to have much pattern paper on this project. So I'm starting by laying my letters. I'm lining them up on that base line of the graph paper, and I'm putting 3.5 spaces between the edges of each of the letters. And so they sometimes they're not ever going to line up with the grid spaces because the letters are all different sizes, but I have approximately 3.5 spaces between each letter. And I like that. I think that looks pretty cool. So I thought about just going with red and yellow as the color scheme for this project because so far there's only red and yellow on this page, and of course the black letter stickers, but I am going to bring in some more color. So this is my layout ingredient list. It's what I am looking at right now as I chat with you guys and narrate this video. So I thought about using this stencil and maybe making some shapes along the bottom of the row of photos. I also thought about using these Pink Fresh Studio rubber stickers. See, I was thinking about doing the heart repeating underneath of the strip of photos, and just kind of having a look through the stickers to see which ones are sort of appropriate for these photos of my kitten. We had a new kitten join us on May 9th. It was very exciting. My husband and I surprised our daughters. We had been thinking about getting a kitten for quite some time. It's hard to find Siamese cats around here, and so we were sort of just monitoring the market and having a look, keeping an eye out. But we didn't tell the kids, and so we found one very quickly and decided to get it very quickly, but we had been deciding, we had already decided to get a cat quite some time ago. So I'm just having a look at some of the die cuts that come in the kit. These are the Ellie Studio die cuts, and then I also have the plastic clips from the Simple Stories, what is it called? Life in Color collection. I keep wanting to call it Life Noted collection, but it's the Life in Color collection. The Life Noted collection is the Pink Fresh Studio one, and so that background paper is from the Life Noted collection. So I'm pairing that heart-shaped plastic tag from Simple Stories with the die cut from Ellie's Studio, and then that yellow teardrop shape is actually cut apart from a piece of pattern paper from the Scraptastic Kit Club. And I'm sorry that it's out of frame. I'm a little bit too zoomed in here, but I'm also putting a few things up in the top corner, and you'll see that in just a few minutes. So I took out the pattern paper that came with this kit because I just want to have a look and see what else I have. I thought about cutting out that heart documented. This is the paper that I was looking for. I was looking to cut off a smaller little red teardrop shape. So eventually I'm going to bring that layout down so that you can see it. And look, I'm leaving behind that piece of paper with all of those colorful strips. Oh, I love that color scheme. That is one of my very favorite papers of all times right there. Love that paper. So let's take a couple strips from that paper. And I'm slicing it so that a little bit of white is showing on, I'm trying to slice it so that a little bit of white is showing on either side, but it turns out that I didn't do a great job of that, but that was my goal. So I took 3 strips from that paper, and I'm going to put a strip of these blocks of color above and below my photos. I love how that looks. That just looks so much better than just the photos by themselves. It kind of squares them off and fills them in. I guess it kind of frames in those photos a little bit better and makes them look a little bit less like they're just hanging in space. Then I put the 3rd strip, I'm going to cut it shorter, and it's just up in the top in that yellow triangular place. And there, I'm using my Tombow Mono Liquid Aqua Glue. Tombow products have a lot of names. They're a mouthful, but they're great products. So I'm just positioning these so that there is an equal amount of space on either side of this strip of photos, and so that they are basically butt right up against one another. And the liquid glue really gives me a chance to move that around a little bit if I need to, just smidge it up a little bit or nudge it down a little bit. The liquid glue allows for some of that. I don't use liquid glue very often for paper on paper. This is actually the 2nd layout in a row that I've used that glue for, and I really enjoy it. I think I'm going to use it a little bit more often. I love the applicator. It's very fine. You can put the glue exactly where you want it to go. So I'm just layering the Always tag and the heart. Those are both from Ellie's Studio from the die cuts. Thinking again about putting those rubber stickers on, but they're not going to make it to this layout. I just can't figure out how to do it. So I'm putting some enamel dots here just to bring a pop of color up to this embellishment cluster that's up in the top corner. And I'm going to mount this with some pop dots and then put adhesive, just my regular tape runner in the bottom, and that gives this die cut some dimension. It makes it flat in the middle and then raised on either end like a banner. And I love the softness of that pink I love you die cut between those 2 pictures of the kitten. It's just so soft and cute, just like my kitten is soft and cute. So I decided to, I was going to use my roller date stamp in that little space, but I decided to use a camera sticker instead. These are the Simple Story stickers that come in the kit. There are 3 sheets of them. And I'm going to glue this heart in place. It's so easy to place things straight when you're working on a grid background paper. And oh, my stapler is out of staples. And you know what? I should have used my We Are Memory Keepers staple board just to, even though it's not the middle of the page, just to get used to using it. But I completely forgot. These handheld staplers are just so convenient. It's just so easy to reach for them and use them. So I'm placing some of those black hearts from the sticker set. There's one in the top cluster and two in the bottom cluster. And I'm just having a look at what else. I also put a little phrase up in the top that you can't see. I'm sorry. I'll zoom out at the end and you can see it. So I decided to put a phrase here too. And then I took this woohoo phrase and I was going to put it there, but I'm going to move it because it's not going to work there. Then I need some enamel dots down here because there's two up in the top cluster. There's basically only two clusters in this layout. So yeah, I think the three is just too much. I want to have some red, but I don't know. So I put the red over on the heart. And then I really don't like the look of those two. I like how they look there, but not with the red one over there. So I just ended up putting the smaller blue one in the middle of the camera, and we'll just leave it at that. So basically I don't have yellow there. So now I'm going to put my journaling here, and I don't know if I love it here, but this is where I'm putting it. So it says, Scott and I had been planning to get another kitten to complete our feline family, but we didn't tell the kids. They came home Monday after school to find a tiny Torty Point Siamese kitten in the dining room. What a shocker. And so I'm trying to keep my journaling really close together. In terms of the lines really squished together, and then I'm just going to outline it, or I guess underline it. And now I have some space here that I don't really care for, so I'm going to put this arrow here, and that will help fill in some of the space, and then that woohoo has to go. And what I really want to do is put three of these three of these star stickers right in that space. And I think that looks good. It kind of fills up the space with a whole bunch of doodly little shapes as if I had doodled, except I'm not that good at doodling. I like these doodly stickers. They're good for that. And then I'm going to put the other, I guess, another star up there. And then you see where I put the star down by the corner of the camera there too. And I think that looks kind of nice and doodly over there. I like that. And then now you can finally see the top cluster. I'm sorry that I didn't show it before now, but it's pretty basic and simple. So this is a pretty clean and simple layout, not a whole lot of like messiness, no layering, no mixed media or anything. It's just, pieces of paper glued down to the background, really showcasing the photos of the kitten and the story of how we surprised our kids with the kitten. So thanks so much for watching. I think that this paper is just so beautiful. I didn't want to cover it up, and so I tried to design this layout around the paper in such a way that the design of that background paper really got to shine. And so I think I accomplished that. And I really like the look of this. It's very different compared to the other layouts that I have in my book. So that's always a treat to turn the page and see something a little different. So thanks so much for watching. Take care and have a really great scrappy week.